Okay, we are now moving into Module 2, and in Module 2 we're going to actually begin operations of polynomial expressions. In this module we're going to learn how to add and subtract polynomial expressions. Now we've already touched a bit on this when we talked about collecting like terms. In math, addition just means put together. When you see a plus sign, that means just take the terms and bring them together. But you've already learned you can only put together terms that are alike. We've already discussed this. You can only add an apple to an apple or an orange to an orange. Think about in real life about, say, like animals. Let's take dogs, for instance. If I had a poodle and you had a poodle, we would have two poodles. We can add them because they're alike. But if I had a poodle and you had a golden retriever, we could not add them together and say we had two. We would have to say we had one poodle plus one golden retriever. So guys, you have to be careful, guys and girls. Even if you see a plus sign, that doesn't necessarily mean you can put the terms together. They have to be alike. We know they're like terms because we look at the variables. If the variables are identical, if I have an A and you have an A, they're alike, we can add them together. If I have an A and you have an A squared, they are not alike. We cannot add them together. Once you find the terms that are alike, then the problem becomes, do you really do addition? And again, it goes back to knowing facts. You can only add things that are alike. You can only physically add a positive number to a positive number. You can only add a negative number to a negative number. Therefore, if one of your terms is positive and the other term is negative, I don't care the directions say add. If they're different signs, you're going to subtract and give it the sign of the larger. So the moral of the story is, even when the directions say add, you're not necessarily doing addition. All add means in math is to bring together terms that are alike. Yes, a positive plus a positive can be added. It will always be a positive. Yes, a negative plus a negative can add. It will always be a negative. But if I give you a term that's positive and I give you a term that's negative, even though the directions say add, because they're opposite signs, you're going to subtract and give it the sign of the larger. So we're going to look at our expressions. We're going to first find the terms that are alike, that have identical variables, and then we're going to put them together. And last but not least, when we add polynomial expressions, we still have to put the final answer in what order? That's right, in descending order. All right, I'll catch you in the next video where we go to do some examples.